YouTube, welcome back to Chef Flo's Kitchen, and I want to introduce to you a series I'm going to call Quarantine Kitchen. So this is actually going to comprise of recipes that are based on non-perishable items, hence quarantine friendly. And no, not all these recipes are going to be based on beans, because as we know, that's probably one of the biggest, I guess, plant-based, like non-perishable item, meal-based stuff. So like, yard beans or whatever. But today we're actually going to be using chickpeas. So here we go, and the recipe is going to be a recipe featured from my ebook. If you haven't checked it out yet, it is Vegan by Chef Flo's Boy on Amazon.com. The link is below, so go ahead and take a look at that to see the full recipe, along with other recipes that are going to be in the book that I'll be covering in the Quarantine Kitchen series. But today I'm going to be making my coconut curry chickpeas, a beautiful, hearty, spice and flavorful recipe that you can make at home. Very, very simple. And I'll be having all the flavors of the Caribbean. Also, a great thing that you can chuck a bunch of vegetables in. So like today I'll be including carrots, sweet potato. So it's a very nutrient dense dish that takes you straight back home or straight back to the island of Jamaica. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and now let's get into the first couple steps. So here we have all the ingredients kind of laid out. So of course we have our chickpeas, my carrot, sweet potato. We're using half an onion today. We have our scallion. If I move this, you can see our garlic and fresh ginger. And in the back here, we have some pepper sauce, just in case. You definitely use Eton Scotch bonnet pepper sauce, or use a fresh Scotch bonnet. Other than that, I'll be cooking with coconut oil. We'll be using black pepper, garlic powder, sea salt, and of course, our curry powder and coconut milk. This is kind of the curry starter pack for any kind of curry, I guess Caribbean based curry that I think you should make. But let's get into prepping our veggies here. So for now I'm going to set aside our chickpeas and our basic seasonings, our onion, garlic, ginger and all of that for now, and a scallion. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel and chop up our sweet potato to the size that we want it to be in the pot, along with the carrot. I'm going to drop them in this bowl here and reintroduce them later on. So let's get into that. Alright, so now we're all done. Our sweet potatoes are here on top, and the carrots are underneath, you can kind of see. And I didn't say earlier, but these chickpeas, this is actually 2 cans of chickpeas, not just one. And these are washed and rinsed chickpeas from the can. Kind of just like to wash off whatever remaining residue is there from the brine that was left in the can, and just leave them to sit. So that's our chickpeas there. And now we're gonna get into chopping up our onion and our garlic and Scotch bonnet and all of that. So as you can see, we're done chopping up all of our seasonings. You may have noticed I left out the scallion, so this will be added later on, not necessarily in the beginning. You may see why soon. And from here, we're kind of going to get into the pot. You also may notice that I left only half of the Scotch bonnet on. So if you guys have a really good Scotch bonnet pepper, the best way to tell is just kind of chop it in half, give it a smell, and then you can kind of see, how hot it might be, how far away from your face you may need to keep it. But yeah, I may add this later. This one is not that hot, so I might just add it whole to kind of sit and simmer in the curry as it cooks. So yeah, from here now, let's bring our beautiful flavors into the pot. So our first step, we're gonna add some coconut oil. I definitely recommend using coconut oil when making Caribbean-based recipes. Definitely has a nice flavor profile and not that high a smoke point, but you do want to keep your eye on it. So I'm gonna add just about 2 tablespoons. There we go. We're gonna let that liquefy in our pot. It's set to high right now. I'll just let that do its thing. Almost there. Beautiful. There we go. Now, some of you may know what the first step is, but a lot of people ask me, like, you know, how do I make a curry sauce? Like, what's the curry sauce that I buy when I make curry? And yeah, you guys will kind of see what the process is to kind of just make your own kind of curry paste in the pot itself, with your seasonings and your powder and all of that. So here are these beautiful seasonings from earlier, and straight in the pot they go. This is a moment where I wish you guys could definitely smell what is coming off of here. All the hints of coconut and the ginger and the scotch bonnet pepper, the garlic, all the components of the dish are now coming together at this stage. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little salt. I like to season at every stage. So says the great Gordon Ramsay. Don't forget to season at every single stage. Cool. So at this point is where the kind of curry sauce begins. So we're going to go ahead and add our curry powder. This is going to be called burning the curry. So we're going to kind of add a generous amount just to kind of coat the entire circle here that the pan has. And you see that golden brown color that's starting to appear? That is what we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of inspire some more blending here of the flavors. That's the color that we're looking for. So at this point I'm going to add some water just to kind of loose things up. Deglaze our pan. Kind of want it to look like that, not too much, but just enough that one sec. Okay, we're back. Fire alarm averted. But yeah, you kind of just want your consistency to be like this. That's kind of where you get that curry paste kind of look from. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce my heat to a medium at this point. There we go. And now I'm going to add our chickpeas. Give that a nice stir in. Make sure everything is well coated. Alright. And remember, our heat is at medium now. So yeah, boom. Look, we have our beautiful chickpeas. It looks like you can eat it right now, no? The next step, we're going to add our sweet potato. There we go. And now we need more liquid, so we're going to go ahead and add our can of coconut milk. Here we go, our beautiful can of coconut milk. And in we go. Oh wow, I've never seen it separate like that. Interesting. So you just want to mix that in. So remember those seasonings from earlier? I kind of like to add them at this stage. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in my black pepper first. I recommend using just about 2 tablespoons, not 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons, my apologies. From here I'm going to add our garlic powder. You can probably use a tablespoon of this if you like. Now, one thing about this whole COVID-19 period, the supermarket did not have everything we need. I usually add fresh thyme at this stage. However, we have to use dry thyme, but that's okay. As for the thyme, if you have dry thyme, if you're using dry thyme at home, I'd also recommend using about a tablespoon. I'm just going to get these stirred in. So now that we have our liquid in, it's still a bit thick, you can tell from the creaminess of the coconut, so I'm going to add just a bit more water just to get it a little loose, so that by the time I pull the heat back up, it can have a nice boil going on to kind of reduce all the veggies and just kind of soften up the potato and all of that, bringing the texture of the curry together. There we go. So this is kind of what you want to start working with when we want to soften up our contents. This is the consistency, so I'm just going to show you. See? Slightly watery, but just also make sure that you can see the thickness through it. So even look at the chickpeas, right? Okay. Now, my heat is back up on high. I'm going to cover this, and we'll be right back when it starts to boil. So yeah man, as you can see, pot a bubble. So give us a nice stir. There we go. And if you remember from earlier, I saved the scallion, so I added it at this stage along with the carrot and all of that. So in it goes. And also, I just realized that I had some allspice berries. These are pimento berries, not to be confused with peppercorns. This will give the curry a nice flavor profile, usually using curry still, in my experience at least. And this will give it a nice kind of earthy Caribbean spicy flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and drop those in. That's all it takes. And now that our pot is boiling, I mean, look at the colors that we have so far, right? Can't wait for this to be done. So now that our pot is bubbling, we're going to reduce the heat back to medium, so you can get a nice simmer. I'm probably going to be leaving it for 15 to 20 minutes to make sure that everything kind of gets softened and fuse up, and that the texture of the curry is thick but not too thick, nice enough that you still have some gravy, but that's kind of what you're looking for. But you guys will see in just a moment. Actually, one thing I forgot to show you guys to do, which is very, very important. At this stage, before the simmer starts, you kind of want to know where your flavor is. Does it want more salt? Does it need more garlic powder? So I definitely go ahead and recommend taking your spoon off the sauce, just off the top. Give it a nice blow, because remember it is hot. Give your curry a nice taste, kind of see where you're working with. How much pepper do I have? Do I need more? As it is right now, I'm pretty satisfied with where the curry is. The flavor will change as the sweet potatoes break down, kind of add a nice sweet profile to the curry, which complements the spicy and the savoriness of it as well. So once it comes to texture, I'll give it another check and we'll see what happens then. So every now and then I kind of like to add a little extraness to my curry, especially in these times where our immune systems are quite vital. I don't feel any crime in adding a little extra nutritional value to any dish that I can. So in this case, I'm going to add some tomato and some spinach, which you'll see, to my curry. I'm not going to do much of them, just going to chop them in half. So these are 10 grape tomatoes that I'm just going to drop in, because why not, right? Tomatoes are full of antioxidants and of course fiber and other vitamins that are essential to our optimal function. So I think they won't hurt too much. And as for the spinach, I'm just going to add about a handful. So whatever your handful is, feel free to use that. And we'll add this closer to the end. I just want my spinach to be slightly wilted and the tomatoes just to be slightly cooked in the curry with the heat, and that will make a beautiful, nutritious addition to our curry. Look at that. Beautiful already. So I've had our curry on simmer for about 10 minutes now, so let's see what it's got. Ooh, there we go. Love to see it. You can kind of see the body of the curry kind of building now. The chickpeas are breaking down, so is the potato. Sorry, and at this point, I'm kind of just gonna try to crush the potato. It's definitely already soft by now. I'm gonna crush some of the potato, kind of building the texture of the curry, help it along the way. And as I said earlier, now that some of the flavors have already infused and we're approaching the thickness that I would like for a finished product here, I'm gonna go ahead and give it another taste. So as I said, just off the top, give it a nice blow because it is very hot. Oh man, lovely. Doesn't need a thing. Salt levels are perfect. Scotch bonnet, I can definitely taste it, but it's not overpowering at all. But I do like a kick, so I am gonna drop this guy right down in there so it can do some work. At this point as well, I'm gonna add the spinach and our tomatoes. You don't have to do much with this other than just go ahead and stir it right in. And I'm gonna leave this to simmer for another 5 minutes or so. By then the spinach will be nicely wilted, our tomatoes will be cooked, and our Scotch bonnet pepper here will be finished doing its work. So let's leave this pot to do its thing, and away we go again. Alright, I think this is it. So remove our heat. You ready for the stir? Look at that. Spinach is nicely wilted. Scotch bonnet has done doing its work. You can see all the colors in this. You know, let me give you guys a little close up of what we're working with here. Look at this. Beautiful. So today I'll probably only be eating some just some regular white jasmine rice with this curry, keeping it simple. I mean, all the loveliness is all here. The work is all here. We just need something to eat it with, right? And well, let's get to plating that. So here again we have our beautiful curry and just some regular everyday jasmine rice. And we're just gonna top the rice with our curry. Let's get a few spoons here. Look at that. I'm gonna get some of the tomato for you guys. Wow. This is a perfect consistency. I wish you could smell it. Let's get into the plate. Ooh. We have a stubborn spinach. Ooh. Ooh, guys, I wish you could taste this. Oh my goodness. Here we go. And just one more. Bam. Now take a look at that. Oh yeah, here we go. This is my coconut curry chickpeas. Beautiful quarantine recipe, nice and easy. I mean, you guys have time now, right? You guys are working from home. You're gonna be looking forward to lunch. Don't worry about whatever that food truck had or Chipotle. This is all you're gonna need for the rest of the week. So this serving here is probably gonna last me through even to next week. The beauty about chickpeas, especially like when it's curried like this, it lasts for a very long time. Of course, once you keep it in your fridge and all of that, nice and good. So yeah, and that's all we have for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for checking it out, and go ahead and try it. Try with your friends, with your family, and if you need the recipe, you know where to go. You know where to go right here. Look for this cover on Amazon.com, or go ahead and click the link down in the description, and then you'll be right there. You'll be open to some of the recipes I'll be trying for this quarantine kitchen series. And if you have any recommendations, go ahead, drop them in a comment below. I'll try to see what I can do. And as for me, I am about to dive into this curry. So as for you guys, try it out, and please stay safe out there, people, and stay inside. Let's help start spread this COVID-19 virus. See you guys later.